Scorpio. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for October 2019. For you, this month begins with, let's say, a delve into the unconscious, lots of 12th house activity, followed by the spotlight right on you as many of these planets come into your first house. And Julia's got some stuff to say, particularly about Mercury relative
Oh,
to all
yeah, I
this.
sure do, Jamie. Hey, Scorpio. First, we're going to talk about Mercury for you this month. Mercury is how we communicate, it's how we think. And it's going to be entering your first house, which is the house of self, on October 3rd. So, this is a really, really great time for expressing yourself verbally in any way that you need to. If you're on social media, for example, you may feel like putting your voice forward more and just being like, here I am, world. And you also might be better at articulating your own needs and expression better than usual during this time as well. Then we have a totally different house which is going to be activated for you this month because Mars is going to be moving into your 12th house on October 3rd. Now, the 12th house is definitely the most secluded house in the whole zodiac. And Mars is our self-assertion. It's how we apply ourselves. So what this means is that you might be sort of feeling more like working behind the scenes than being up and center, just for the whole world to see. Like maybe in your professional sphere, if you can do some more work on your own instead of in a team, you might prefer that a little bit more, and it might just kind of work better with you. But also be wary of kind of acting behind people's backs too during this transit, because that also might end up causing you more problems than what it's worth. Then Venus, which is everyone's favorite planet because she's the planet of beauty and relationships, she's going to be entering again that first house of self on October 8th. And when Venus transits the first house, it's a really, really great time for beautifying yourself in any way. Great time for getting a new haircut. Great time for, trying on a new type of outfit. But your personal magnetism and your attractiveness are kind of going to be really, really increased this month during that transit as well. And what else are you seeing, Jamie?
I was thinking when you were talking about Mars in the 12th house, a phrase came to mind, which is rugged solitude.
Ooh.
And when I see that Mars in the 12th house, I think, maybe it's time for, I don't know, a trip out into the wilds somewhere. Some rugged individualism, some alone time, maybe with nature, and that can be really delicious, I think, at a time like this, when there's 12th house activity like that. You might find yourself in solitude anyway, so why not be in charge of it? So then, as the middle of the month comes on, we have got a full moon in Aries right here, falling in your 6th house, Scorpio, and a sign that tends to be emotionally explosive, shall we say. There can be angry outbursts, and so it's important to watch out for that in the work arena, because this is the arena of the job. Also health and service. And so this would be a really good time to beware of eating things, putting things into your stomach, that's ruled by the moon, that are inflammatory, that will irritate your digestive tract, and that would be the Aries influence. So, and then that sort of balances out that sun in the 12th house, which really is pulling you inward, and yet that moon in Aries is saying in the workplace, you may have to, field some landmines here and there. So then a little later in the month, around the 20th, we have got Mercury entering its shadow period. And Julia, you had mentioned this. Mercury is going to be going retrograde on the 31st, but before it does, it slows down. And so there's this turning inward that starts to happen even there. And because this Mercury retrograde period is going to be right here in your first house, especially if you have Scorpio rising, there's going to be a lot of occasion for thought and reflection about who you are and how you project yourself out into the world. Then a little bit later, the sun moves into Scorpio and that first house for you. So you start to see this big pile of Scorpio planets that are gathering there in the second house, in the second half of the month. And so if you have sun in Scorpio, this is obviously birthday time, which is a great time to really focus in on yourself, as these planets are saying that you should be doing. And now, Scorpio, you're not really the most comfortable person in the spotlight, right? You're not that comfortable just being seen and being visible and being transparent. And it's funny, isn't it, that sometimes even the times when you try to be transparent or feel like you're wearing your heart on your sleeve, other people seem to find you opaque anyway. And how frustrating. So this could be a month in which a little well-placed and not critical, you hear me? Not critical self-examination could be called for, and really time to celebrate yourself and how you're transforming into something better all the time.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, doesn't it? Sounds pretty awesome. Then a couple of days after that, we've got a new moon right there in your first house in your sign of Scorpio on the 27th. And new moons are traditionally times for beginnings, for planting new seeds. Scorpio is a sign of transformation, so we can string that together into a sentence and to say that it's time to plant seeds of transformation in your very self. You are always in a process of transformation, but you also are an agent of transformation, and it's important to be that gently and kindly with other people. So I think there's something really powerful going on there. And then a couple days later, we have Mercury turning retrograde, and that is on the 31st. And then it's going to spend November retrograding backwards along through Scorpio in your first house. And that's really when the self-examination is going to deepen quite a bit. And so this year also, your solar return birthday chart, if you are a Scorpio sun sign, is most likely going to have a Mercury retrograde in it. So that will take the themes of self-examination and looking deeper and really sort of, I don't know, playing detective with oneself, uncovering the really deep stuff. That will take that theme and spread it throughout the year, not just for one day. So, solar return reading, pretty good idea. Okay, I think that's all we have for you, Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed it. Always look on our horoscope page at pandorastrology.com. Check out /horoscope, and you can find our horoscopes in our YouTube playlist, along with the news of the month. And we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye.